Now we good. Welcome in, Cowboys Nation, to the Game Day Live halftime show. The Cowboys lead 28-17, and it shouldn't even be 28-17. I wanted to come on here and just be jumping for joy and talking my mess, all excited. But I can't lie to you, I'm frustrated because the Cowboys play stupid football to end the half. And if you play stupid games, you win what?
Stupid prizes.
And that's what the Cowboys did. They played stupid games. Offsides on 3rd and 3, incomplete. You get off the field with 5 minutes left in the second half. You have a chance to go down, get the ball back, and score again. Instead, you give up the first down. A couple other, was it interception? Instead of an interception, face mask or whatever it was, personal foul.
Yeah, roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer to give the ball back. And then you give up the touchdown. And the very next play, instead of 28 seconds or whatever it was, running the clock out, we want to throw the ball, not only throw the ball, but throw the ball in an area to a player I told you can't play with fire with, and that's Eddie Jackson.
Yep.
I didn't like the call. I didn't like the decision, and I didn't like the player in C.D. Lamb not fighting for that rock either. But stupid call, stupid decision, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and now it's a game, and it shouldn't be right now.
And the Bears get the ball after the half. You know, let's talk about some of the good things. Like the Cowboys came out.
Hard to come after that.
I know, I got you. I feel you. But the Cowboys came out on a fire. Like my notes, I just put first drive. I put wow. They had the one-minus run. The first 4 drives since, and they said on the telecast, since 2014, and that was Indianapolis Colts. There has not been a team who's opened up a game in their first 4 drives scoring touchdowns. The Cowboys did it today. In their first 4 drives, they came out and scored touchdowns, and it looked like they kind of had things rolling. They were humming. You saw some tape stuff. You saw rookie Dak, RPO, running the football.
That was a pretty play,
It was so pretty. I mean, you saw Dak spinning it. He was humming it. Everybody eats beat. Everybody was getting involved. Michael Gallup, they wasn't running him on curl routes. They wasn't running him on hitch routes.
They put him on the slants.
They were running the routes that keep him on the move. That's where he's best at right now. He can't run curl routes and come back. We have to start and stop and start again. And they got that rocking and rolling. They got C.D. Lamb going. They got Hendershot going. They got Ferguson going. They got, and then, of course, we talked about it in the pregame show, Tony Pollard. This is going to be a money game for him. He was doing it inside, outside, in the passing game. Everything was flowing. But then you look up and you go, well, the Cowboys have dominated this entire game. it's 28-17, and the Bears get the ball at the half because of penalties. Kellen Moore doing that old glitching again right before the half, where you just, instead of you just being satisfied with just, hey, run the ball. If we get something big, then maybe we look at, instead of, you got greedy. You got ahead of yourself, and Dak, he tried to drive one in down the middle of the field. Eddie Jackson, who we talked about in the pregame show, is tied for the league in interceptions in the back end. What does he do? Intercepts the ball. Luckily, they weren't able to turn it into a touchdown. They got a field goal out of it. But, the Cowboys,
they get the ball.
They've as I've heard our boy Pat No C talked about, they're playing with their food. They're playing with their food when they should just eliminate these dudes. They're playing with their food.
And these are the small things that, while it may not bite, we got a long way to go. It's a whole second half. It may not bite you today. Oh, it will bite you against these better teams. I mean, it is biting you technically right now. But, I mean, the result of the end of the game, I don't want to recall this, but it started to feel like that Lions game.
That Detroit game.
Like, you get up, you're up 24 in that game, you're up 21 in this game.
Yep.
You're rolling. Your defense is stopping them. Your offense is rolling. Y'all over there talking about what y'all doing in the bye week. Like, what's happening? Because your focus just completely went away.
Yeah.
It just completely went away, and now they're back in this game. So I appreciate you bringing up the positives, because it was so much good stuff. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is now, reporter, analyst, fan hat. The fan hat that I'm wearing right now is frustrated. Frustrated with an 11-point lead, 28 points, where you were dominating at every facet of the game.
Yeah.
But you can't have offsides. What was it again? The roughing the passer, and then an interception. Not consecutive plays, but on a consecutive drives. You can't do it. So I'm frustrated. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard for me to feel. Listen, we're up. To get out here, get a stop, you can flip the script. But if I'm the Bears, I feel excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You mean to tell me if I come out here, hey, I don't have to throw. Remember, we wanted them to throw. What does he have? He's 8 for 11 for 40 yards. You wanted him to throw, and you got him to throw the interception. You messed that up.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to do that. I can go back to running for 101 yards like I got in the first half. So the Bears are in a prime position here. Dallas has to come out here pissed off but under control.
Yeah, you're right, and it's always funny. It's always reversed.
It's flipped
like,
right now.
You're always like, but the positive. I'm like, but.
No, I'm pissed off.
But I think for the Cowboys, they've seen a lot of stuff work in the first half. They were able to come out and get things running in the first half. My hope and prayer is that you come back in and Kellen Moore Mike McCarthy is like, hey, Kellen.
You should have smacked him right there.
Don't do that. Don't do that anymore. Let's get back to what we do. Defense, again, you put the pressure back on the defense to come out and have to now go out there and have another couple of stops coming out of the half, because if Detroit goes down and score a touchdown, we're talking about 28-24.
The Bears, but yeah.
I'm sorry. I looked up as Detroit just scored a touchdown. But the Bears, and now we're really talking about being in a dogfight. So, it's one of those games where you go, all right, we glitched. Let's get back right. Let's get back on task, because everything that they were doing in that first quarter, the first
half, they didn't score 14 points in the second quarter.
But the first three games, the last three games, they had 104 total yards of offense in the first quarter. They had 149 in this game in the first quarter. Get back to that. Get back to that rhythm, to that tempo. You had everything working. You had great runs. You had great play action. You were converting on third downs. You were hitting your throws. Dak was running. I mean, everything was going for you. You need to get back to that and allow that to be to be the catalyst of what you are offensively coming out of the second half.
And please, let's go ahead and put the ball back in Tony Pollard's hand. The Malik Davis mix-in is pretty cool and everything, but Tony Pollard is having a field day right now. And it's so weird to me that a guy so explosive that can take a play to the crib from anywhere on the field, you don't say, all right, if I'm going to throw this ball, it's going to be a screen to Tony Pollard. There's going to be a swing pass to Tony Pollard. It's going to be a handoff, stretch play, whatever, because I know he can hit 50 yards in 10 seconds, right? So, or less, really. So that was strange to me, another glitch. But let's go ahead and put the ball back in his hands. He's got 8 touches right now for 66 yards. 66 yards and a beautiful touchdown, 18-yard touchdown play. Let's get that back going, get the play action back going, and erase this nasty taste out of our mouths at the end of the first half here. If they can get back to doing what you were saying, I mean, this can go back into being a rout. But the defense has got to get off the field. You know, you can't – that can't happen to open up this half. Penalties and giving up third downs and fourth downs. That can't happen, man.
No, and this team they found the formula. For whatever reason, they find it and then they go away from it. You just got to stay the course. Stick to what you do well and allow that to take you where you need to go. Stay ahead of the sticks. Don't get behind. Don't glitch. Don't glitch, Kellen. Don't glitch, Dak. Just stay running what has been working for you all game long. I think they can get back to that. I think that's not a hard place to get back to. But again, you got to go back to being committed to doing it and wanting it to work for your football team.
Real quick, defensively, three little notes I want to point out here. First off, Jonathan Hankins. He has 3 tackles in the first half, and he's been a difference maker. You can see it. And even on that play on that 4th and 1, where Hankins and Bo was right next to each other, I love it. That's 670 pounds, 700 pounds of man in the middle, and it made Herbert go to the outside, and we just needed Diggs to kind of close a little harder. I don't know why 55 was almost out of bounds on that play, but you had a chance to stop him on that 4th and 1. And then we got a chance to see your boy, Damone Clark. And it wasn't on unless Anthony Barr is hurt, which I don't know.
No, he came back in.
Okay.
Came back in.
We're going to see Damone now. So I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about that throughout the week. But Damone Clark, they're getting his feet wet heading here into this bye week. And then Kelvin Joseph. We talked about Kelvin Joseph potentially getting ticked. Thought he should have got ticked a little earlier. Anthony Brown was getting burnt deep. Yeah. And then Anthony Brown got hurt. Kelvin Joseph comes in, has a nice tackle. I think he has a tackle here. And then he gives up the touchdown. So we saw 3 different guys defensively. You want to touch on all 3 of them before we get out of this half?
I'll say for Anthony Brown, like whatever God he prayed to this morning is working out for him, because he got beat early on for 2 deep balls. They just didn't complete them. And then, Kelvin Joseph comes in, and you and I have been back and forth about this the whole time with Kelvin Joseph. I'm not the biggest fan of Kelvin Joseph as a player. I'm not even talking about his personal life. For a guy that's drafted that high and not seeing significant snaps tells me that there's something deeper in his preparation and what he does in practice every single day. But on the positive note, Deron Bland is in there. Deron Bland is doing what we saw Deron Bland.
3 tackles.
3 tackles, pass breakup. Like, he's been a solid football player. So, I want to see more guys step up and do what Deron Bland does instead of being a liability like Anthony Brown and Kelvin Joseph have been at the defensive back spot.
Anything on Damone Clark?
No, nothing right now. I think they put him out there. They said, hey, let's see what you can do. Middle linebacker, let him just get his feet wet. Let him get out there and really see the action. And so I love it, because I think he's going to be a fantastic player for the Cowboys going forward. And the more reps you get him, again, it allows Dan Quinn to have another just superhero into the mix of how he wants to, his arsenal of how he wants to unload this thing throughout the course of the year.
Final thoughts for halftime heading into the second half. For me, it's clean it up.
Yep.
Clean it up. Get refocus, reshift your focus, readjust your lens, whatever it may be. Because when you played your clean football, you were blowing these boys out. So just clean it up, and I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, don't lose your focus on your bye week.
Don't glitch the whole damn second half.
You don't want to lose your focus on your bye week. You want to keep a focused mind. Finish your food. Get these guys up out of here. Then go enjoy the fruits of your labor and the luxury of having a bye week. You don't want to go into this bye week with the L coming off from this team.
Oh, boy.
From this team being up and how well you played in the first quarter and a half. Go out there and just finish your food. I think the Cowboys will be fine if they come out, clean up the nonsense, get back on the path that you were on, and don't be glitching the rest of the way.
Let's hope the energy is completely different to end the game than it is to end the second half.
Yep.
Jesse, Holley, Skywalker still. Make sure y'all come back. Post-game show live. We'll be here discussing hopefully a dub.